sun rises over the Serengeti, pulling its first golden rays through the thin morning mist, painting the endless sea of grass in shades of gold. A morning breeze sweeps across the plains, making the tall grass ripple like waves on an unseen ocean. But beneath this beauty lies a harsh truth. Serengeti is neither peaceful nor merciful. Here, every passing second is a battle for survival. Beneath the shade of a withered acacia tree, a faint breath stirs in the vast savannah. A fragile life has entered the world, small, vulnerable, yet carrying within it the fierce instinct to survive. The Serengeti is unforgiving, and from this very moment, the struggle begins. The mother lion lies sprawled, her breath still heavy from labor, but her eyes have already sharpened. She scans the tall grass, searching for unseen threats. She knows there is no time for rest. This is the Serengeti, where the slightest vulnerability can turn a predator into prey. The morning wind glides across the land, carrying the breath of dawn, but also something unfamiliar. Not far away, within the tall grass near the acacia's roots, a subtle movement stirs the golden blades. No footsteps can be heard, no form can be clearly seen. But suddenly, the morning calm is thick with tension. A pair of cold, calculating eyes lurks within the grass. Watching the mother lion's every move, a patient opportunist waits in the shadows, poised for the perfect moment to strike. The lioness senses the presence of an intruder. Her muscles tense, her ears pivot toward the faintest sound. Just beyond the dense grass, a lone female hyena approaches. Its steps are slow, deliberate hunger gleams in its eyes. The hyena lacks the strength of a lion, the speed of a leopard, but it has patience and an insatiable greed. It does not hunt like true predators. It waits, it scavenges, it takes what does not belong to it. And a lone mother lion with newborn cubs is a rare opportunity. But the lioness does not allow it. A deep, guttural growl rips through the morning stillness. It is more than a warning, it is a declaration. Her golden eyes lock onto the intruder. The hyena hesitates, pausing for a brief moment, but hunger and survival instinct push it forward, just one step closer. A fatal mistake. The lioness lunges like a storm unleashed. A powerful swipe of her claws sends the intruder crashing to the ground. The hyena screeches, stumbling backward. It knows it cannot win, it cannot afford to take another risk. A second later, it turns and flees, vanishing into the tall grass. A faint scent of blood lingers in the air. The lioness stands motionless, her gaze still fixed on the retreating scavenger. She knows this is only the beginning. More threats will come, more battles await. Beneath the thick brush, the cubs sleep soundly, unaware of how close death had come. But this was only the first time. Countless dangers lie ahead, and the mother lion cannot protect them forever. The first days pass in fragile safety. A week later, the cubs open their eyes for the first time. Pale blue orbs shimmering as they gaze at the vast Serengeti sky. The world is impossibly big, dazzling, unfamiliar. Tiny legs, still unsteady, attempt to support their weight, only to stumble and fall. But instinct will not allow them to give up. Every failed step is followed by another attempt, wobbly, uncertain, determined. These are more than just first steps, they are the first lessons in survival. Then the real lessons begin. At first, it seems like play, pouncing, tumbling, nipping at each other's ears and tails. But these moments are more than simple games. When a cub chases its sibling, it is learning speed. When it climbs onto its mother's back, only to be thrown off, it is mastering balance. When it swipes at the air, paws outstretched, it is preparing for the day when that strike must be fast, precise, deadly. But beyond their playful den, the world is no playground. At 1 month old, the cubs take their first steps beyond the thicket. The dense grass no longer shields them, and for the first time, they sense the true nature of the Serengeti. Hyenas still prowl the edges, dull eyes tracking their every step. Further away, a leopard watches from the branches of a lone tree, silent, patient, waiting. Every step outside the thicket is a step into danger. The lioness keeps them close but does not hold them back. They must learn. They must stand on their own. If not now, they never will. At first, their movements are awkward, uncertain, but in time, they grow more agile. What started as playful pouncing becomes a hunter's training ground. They leap over fallen logs, testing their balance. They chase insects, honing their reflexes. But the most valuable lessons have yet to come. One afternoon, as the sun dipped lower, painting the grasslands in fiery red, a young lion cub suddenly spotted an unfamiliar creature slithering out from the bushes. A small snake, its shimmering scales reflecting the fading light. Curiosity ignited, the cub stretched out a paw to touch it. But the moment the snake's head snapped up, releasing a sharp hiss, the mother lion lunged forward. A single, powerful swipe sent the danger flying. No warning, no lesson spoken, only swift, decisive action. A harsh truth. Not everything is a game. The cubs do not yet understand the rules of survival, but they will soon learn. The grasslands show no mercy, and there is no place for the weak. One day, when their mother is no longer there, they must walk the path of a predator or be left behind. Darkness slowly drapes over the plains. The night wind carries a chilling breath, weaving through the swaying grass. The mother lion pulls her cubs close, her steady breaths offering a fleeting sense of peace. But this peace never lasts. The world beyond never stops moving. The sun has yet to rise, but life on the grasslands has already begun. A herd of antelope moves with caution, ears twitching at the faintest sound. Further away, a family of elephants marches toward the river, the young ones carefully shielded by towering adults. But not all creatures have such protection. Some must learn to survive from the moment they take their first breath. And in a quiet corner of the savannah, the lessons of the young lions continue. Hidden within the tall grass, the lionesses prepare for the hunt. The cubs are not yet ready to join, but their wide, eager eyes follow every move. They observe the adults, how they step lightly, how they spread out, silently closing in on their target. In the distance, a herd of Thompson's gazelles grazes, unaware that predators have already taken their positions. A lioness begins to move. Her body lowers, blending into the dry grass. Every step is deliberate, careful, soundless. The others follow, tightening the net around their prey. Patience, this is the first rule of the hunt. But one cub doesn't understand that yet. In its eyes, the moment is perfect. A young gazelle stands only a few dozen yards away, oblivious to the danger. The cub's heart pounds. Instinct takes over, urging it to act. Unable to resist, it suddenly leaps forward, charging straight at the prey. In an instant, the herd erupts in chaos. Powerful legs hammer against the ground as the gazelles bolt. Vanishing in a blur of speed, the cub skids to a stop, frozen in confusion, staring at its empty hunting ground. The adult lions do not chase. The opportunity is gone. From a distance, the mother lion watches, but there is no anger, no punishment. This is another lesson. Impatience brings nothing. She steps forward, brushing gently against the cub's small frame. A silent reminder, patience is a predator's greatest weapon. As the sun climbs higher, the pride gathers again. The cubs are allowed to play, but even play is a form of training. They pounce on each other, nip at ears and tails. Every leap is practice, every tussle sharpens their skills. They begin to understand who is family, who is enemy, and which predators they must always watch for. The strength of the pride is not just in numbers, it is in unity. When the mother lion lets out a low growl, the cubs immediately stop their games. They recognize the warning. When a lioness flicks her tail slowly, they know something is moving in the grass. Understanding the language of the pride is just as important as learning to hunt. A few days later, the young cub tries again. This time, it does not rush. It moves slower, crouching lower, stepping more carefully. It has learned that patience matters more than strength, but it is still not fast enough, not cunning enough. The gazelle escapes once more. The cub does not give up. It continues to watch. It studies how a lioness adjusts her speed as she closes in on her prey, how she positions herself with the wind to mask her scent, how the pride works together to cut off an escape route. Everything is strategy, every movement has purpose. Days pass, the lessons continue. The cub learns to step without sound, to strike with precision, to recognize the smallest signs of danger. It is no longer just a naive cub chasing prey without thought. It now understands. Hunting is an art of coordination, calculation, and patience. After a night of rest beneath the shade of an acacia tree, the pride begins to stir. The lionesses stretch, their muscles flexing as their sharp eyes scan the horizon. In the distance, herds of antelope, zebras, and buffalo graze, unaware of the danger lurking nearby. This is the moment of preparation when every member of the pride knows that a hunt is inevitable. The Thompson's gazelles move cautiously, every step measured, their large ears twitching at the slightest sound. Heads lift, nostrils flaring to catch any hint of danger in the air. A strong gust of wind sweeps across the plains, carrying the scent of hidden predators through the tall grass. Instantly, the gazelles tense, their hind legs coiling like springs. They know that a single moment of carelessness could mean the end of their existence today. The lionesses advanced, every step calculated, no one rushes. A hunt is not a reckless chase, it is a game of strategy, where only the most patient and precise will claim victory. The young cubs remain hidden in the grass, wide-eyed and eager, watching the masters at work. They are too small to join the hunt, but instinct compels them to observe and learn. From a distance, a lone buffalo strays from the herd, moving toward a shallow watering hole. It does not realize that this simple action has made it the perfect target. The lionesses immediately shift their focus, recognizing the rare opportunity a fully grown buffalo could feed the pride for days, but its sheer size and strength make this hunt far from easy. The chase begins as one lioness lunges forward, aiming for the buffalo's hind leg. The beast instantly senses danger and bolts forward, but it is too late. The others follow, closing in from all sides. One leaps onto its back, clawing for control, while another sinks its teeth into its throat. A deafening bellow echoes across the grasslands, shaking the dry stalks around them. The buffalo thrashes violently, desperate to break free, but the combined force of the predators is overwhelming. After a few minutes of relentless struggle, the buffalo collapses, its labored breath slowing. The lionesses hold on, ensuring that the fight is over. When all is still, the cubs cautiously approach, their noses twitching with curiosity. This is their first taste of a real hunt. Further across the plains, scavengers have already begun to gather. Vultures circle above, their keen eyes tracking every movement below. Hyenas lurk in the tall grass, waiting. They know they cannot take down a buffalo on their own, but patience is their weapon. Soon they make their move, cackling eerily as they close in. But the lions do not care. They have taken what they need. Tomorrow, the hunt will begin again. The scorching wind lashes against the young male lion's body. He stands alone in the vast, empty plains, accompanied only by the rustling of dry grass and the distant cries of circling vultures. Today, he is no longer part of the pride. He has been cast out. This was never a choice. It is the brutal law of the wild. A male lion's fate is sealed the moment his mane grows thick and his muscles strengthen. The dominant males see him not as a brother, but as a threat, a future rival. It does not matter that he once grew up under their protection. It does not matter that they once shared the same kills. All that matters is power. And he must go. His body still bears the wounds of defeat. Deep claw marks streak across his flank, still seeping blood. His muscles ache from the brutal battle he never stood a chance of winning. But pain does not matter. He cannot turn back. The path ahead is one of hardship and uncertainty, but he has no choice. Without the protection of a pride, every day is a fight for survival. He was once accustomed to full meals brought home by the lionesses, but now he must hunt for himself. That is no easy task. The antelope, zebras, and buffalo are swift, cautious, and incredibly difficult to catch. A lone lion does not have the advantage of numbers. There is no coordinated ambush. No pride to increase the odds of success. Hunger quickly becomes a relentless enemy. For 2 days, he wanders the plains, unable to find prey that he can take down alone. His strength drains with every passing hour. Each step grows heavier. Every time the scent of fresh meat drifts through the air, his eyes ignite with hope. But the carcasses he finds have already been stripped by vultures and hyenas. A lone lion cannot fight a pack of scavengers. Then he spots it, a Grant's gazelle, standing apart from its herd. His body lowers, muscles coil. Instinct takes over. This is no longer the reckless chase of a naive cub. This is the real test. Slowly he inches forward, every step controlled. He waits, calculating the perfect moment to strike. But then, a sudden gust of wind shifts, and with it, his scent is carried straight to his prey. The gazelle bolts before he can react. He tries to give chase, but the distance between them widens with every second. Eventually, he slows to a halt, panting. Failure. But in this world, no one succeeds on their first attempt. Even the dominant males he once challenged had started just like this. In the days that follow, he learns a crucial lesson. He cannot afford to hunt prey that is too fast or too strong. A full-grown antelope is an impossible challenge for a lone hunter, but the weak, the isolated, the young, those are the ones he can take down. After countless failures, he finally succeeds, a small gazelle, too slow to escape his claws. The warmth of fresh meat fills his mouth, sending renewed energy coursing through his veins. With some of his strength restored, he continues his journey. A male lion's fate is not to remain alone forever. If he wants to survive, he must find an ally, another outcast, another wanderer, searching for an opportunity. But this is no easy task. Lone lions are not always welcoming. Sometimes an encounter means a fight to the death. But fortune does not entirely turn its back on him. As he moves through the lowlands near a dried-up river, he spots another young male. His body bears fresh scars, and his wary eyes reflect the same caution. They watch each other in silence. Both understand. Fighting now would waste precious energy, and there is nothing to gain. A lone lion can die easily, but two can form an alliance. They begin traveling together. At first, they keep their distance, but slowly they close the gap, sharing stolen meals, facing threats side by side. They are no longer outcasts wandering the plains alone. Now they have a purpose: to survive, to grow stronger, and one day to reclaim what was taken from them. Time passes, and they change. Their manes grow thicker, their bodies grow more powerful. No longer do they hunt small prey. They begin testing themselves against larger targets. And with each victory, they grow bolder, more experienced. Then they are no longer just two. Another male appears, another exile, another lone wanderer. He has nowhere to go, no pride to return to. After a time, he joins them. From two, they become three. One lone lion can accomplish little, but three full-grown males, they are a true threat. Together, they gain an immense advantage. With their numbers and strength growing, they are no longer weak, no longer outcasts. They begin marking territory, expanding their hunting grounds. And when they are ready, when the moment is right, They will do what no solitary male can. They will challenge the kings. They will take a pride of their own. Serengeti does not allow the weak to last long. Once they were the weak. Once they were defeated. Once they were exiled. But now they stand together, and one day they will return, not as outcasts, but as conquerors. At the heart of the vast Serengeti, the lion pride basks in the quiet heat of midday. The lionesses lounge beneath an acacia tree, tails flicking lazily to swat away persistent flies. The cubs play at their mother's feet, tumbling over one another, biting ears and tails in harmless mischief. None of them realize this peace is only temporary. Far in the distance, barely visible on the horizon, shadows begin to emerge. 3 fully grown males advance from the far end of the plains, their piercing eyes scanning the land ahead. They are no longer the weak cubs that were once cast out. Their bodies are massive, their manes thick and dark, exuding the aura of warriors who have fought to survive. They have waited for this moment for a long, long time. The lionesses rise, lifting their heads to watch the slow, deliberate approach. They do not panic, they do not flee, they do not attack, they simply observe in silence. They understand this is not just a battle. This is nature's way, a shift of power, an inevitable transition, but the reigning males do not see it that way. From atop a mound of dry earth, 2 dominant males emerge, standing tall under the sun, their eyes narrow, fixed on the intruders. They know the threat that approaches. Once, these challengers were nothing, weaklings driven from the pride, exiled to die. But now they have returned, stronger, bigger, and most importantly, they have not come to negotiate. There is no need for a signal. One of the dominant males unleashes a roar, a deep, guttural sound that thunders across the grasslands. A final declaration of power. But the challengers do not back down. One of them roars in response, an earth-shaking call of defiance. The world seems to pause, the wind stills, the cubs freeze mid-play, the lionesses stand unmoving, eyes locked on the moment of reckoning. Then, with no further warning, one of the dominant males lunges. He charges toward the largest of the challengers, his powerful frame surging forward like a storm. But his opponent is ready. With lightning-fast reflexes, the younger male dodges, his claws slashing across the attacking lion's shoulder. A pained roar splits the air. The reigning male whirls around, ready to counter, but before he can strike, a crushing blow slams into him. The force sends him staggering back, dust rising in thick clouds beneath his paws. The battle for the throne has begun. The remaining dominant males see their companion fall, but they cannot run. There is no place for cowards in this war. They fight on, but the wounds pile up. Their strength drains with each second. The challengers do not let up. They push forward, relentless, overwhelming their rivals piece by piece. Then another dominant male collapses. His breathing is ragged, his eyes wide with panic. But there is no mercy. In an instant, his fate is sealed. One final decisive bite, and it is over. The last surviving dominant male understands they have lost. Wounded and gasping, he turns and stumbles away. Every step is heavy, every breath a reminder of his defeat. He knows there is no return. He is no longer a ruler, no longer a king. Now he is just another wanderer, surviving on scraps, waiting for a chance that may never come. The victors stand tall, their manes, soaked in sweat and blood, glisten in the fading light. Their eyes burn with triumph. They do not need to roar. Their actions have spoken for them. The lionesses approach, showing neither fear nor resistance. They accept their new rulers just as they always have. It is the way of the wild. Far beyond the battlefield, the sun sinks behind the horizon. The Serengeti sky glows a deep, fiery red. An old dynasty has fallen. A new reign has begun. But in this world, no king rules forever. One day, young lions will grow, they will be cast out, and they will return. The cycle of survival never stops, and the victors know, from this moment on, their true battle has only just begun. Under the golden sun of the Serengeti, a gentle breeze sweeps across the endless sea of grass. Far in the distance, moving with graceful yet steady steps, a herd of giraffes drifts across the open plains. Their long necks rise above the landscape, far from the dangers lurking below. Large, watchful eyes scan their surroundings, calm and unshaken. In a world where strength and power dictate survival, where fangs and claws reign supreme, their presence is a silent yet commanding force. Giraffes are neither predators nor warriors. They do not sprint like Thompson's gazelles. They do not form tight defensive herds like buffalo, nor do they wear the armored skin of a rhinoceros. Yet they endure, standing tall in a land where death is always near. How have they survived? Height is their greatest weapon. While other animals rely on sharp senses to detect danger, giraffes simply look. From over 16 feet in the air, a fully grown giraffe can scan the landscape, spotting threats long before they get too close. A pride of lions crouched low, waiting in the grass. A leopard stalking from the shadows of an acacia tree. Nothing escapes their towering gaze. They stay clear of danger, choosing open spaces where they can see and react before it's too late. But even giants have moments of weakness. A giraffe must lower its head to drink, and in that moment, it is vulnerable. Its long neck bends, its guard drops. It becomes unaware of what lurks in the tall grass. The lions know this. They do not rush as they would for an antelope. They do not strike carelessly. They wait, they observe, and they find the perfect moment. Then, like a thunderclap over dry earth, the attack begins. Lions explode from the grass, aiming for the giraffe's hind legs, its one true weakness. If they can bring it down, the battle is already won. A fallen giraffe is a feast, a prize worth the risk. But not every hunt goes as planned. If there is one reason why giraffes are respected, it is because of their raw power. A single kick can be deadly, a strike strong enough to shatter a lion's skull, to kill a full-grown predator in an instant. One reckless lion charges, a lightning-fast kick snaps upward, the hard, steel-like hooves connect, a sharp crack echoes through the plains, and the lion is sent flying, collapsing motionless to the earth. The remaining lions hesitate. They know that one wrong move could cost them their lives. For a predator, a fatal injury means a slow death. Unable to continue the fight, the lions retreat. Their golden eyes still gleaming in the sunlight, but their steps growing distant. The giraffes resume their journey, unshaken, unbothered. They do not roar in victory. They do not chase their enemies away. They simply stand tall, unyielding, unconquered. In this vast savannah, some are born to hunt, some are born to flee, and some survive by adapting silently, steadily. Giraffes are not warriors, but they are not easy prey either. They do not rely on speed. They do not rely on numbers. They rely on stillness, on the strength of their own presence. An old giraffe stands still, gazing toward the setting sun. It has seen much in its lifetime. Battles fought, hunts played out, kings rising only to be overthrown. It knows that one day its own steps will slow, its body will weaken, and eventually it will fall to the relentless cycle of life. But not today. Far ahead, the younger giraffes continue moving forward, unconcerned by what lies ahead. They know there will be challenges, encounters with predators, moments of danger, but they also know this: as long as they keep their pace, as long as they do not let themselves be drawn into chaos, they will endure. The sun sinks beneath the horizon, painting the Serengeti sky in shades of crimson. But even as darkness falls, even as the night swallows the grasslands, the giraffes remain, silent, observing, waiting, and continuing their journey. From the arid plains of the Serengeti, nature's story does not end. It moves forward into Nepal, a land of dense forests, towering snow-capped peaks and rivers winding through deep valleys. Here, power does not belong to those who hunt in packs. It belongs to those who walk alone, where dominance is not measured by numbers, but by patience, adaptation, and raw, unmatched strength. Beneath the dense canopy, a striped shadow moves in silence. A Bengal tiger, the greatest predator of the jungle, steps forward without a sound. It does not rely on long chases. It does not call upon allies. Silence is its deadliest weapon. Its golden striped coat melds into the shifting light and shadow, making it nearly invisible. Its eyes lock onto its prey, unwavering, absolute. And when the moment arrives, one strike, swift as lightning, and the hunt is over before the victim even understands what has happened. High in the frozen peaks, another predator reigns, a ghost of the Himalayas, a snow leopard. It moves across the jagged cliffs with effortless grace, navigating sheer drops and rocky outcrops without hesitation. No fixed territory, no pride, only solitude. But that solitude is what makes it truly dangerous. A single leap, a precise strike, and its prey never has a chance. No sound, no trace, only a deadly silence left behind. Deep within the ancient forests, a predator watches, a Bengal tiger. The undisputed ruler of Nepal's jungles moves unseen through the undergrowth. Its massive paws glide over dry leaves without a whisper. Its golden striped coat blends seamlessly into the shifting patterns of sunlight filtering through the trees. Unlike lions who hunt in prides, unlike leopards who rely on speed, the tiger has its own method: absolute stillness, endless patience. That is its greatest weapon. Not far away, near the banks of a quiet stream, a sambar deer lowers its head to drink. Its large ears twitch, its eyes constantly scanning. In a jungle where danger lurks in every shadow, no creature ever lets its guard down. But no matter how alert it is, it cannot see what waits in the darkness. The tiger remains motionless. Its sharp gaze never leaves its target. It senses the wind's direction. It reads the subtlest shifts in movement. One mistake, one wrong step could ruin everything. So it waits for the perfect moment. The deer dips its head one final time, and the tiger moves. No warning, no sound, no sign of its presence. In an instant, it explodes from its hiding place. Its muscles unleash a burst of power. Its hind legs propel it forward like a force of nature. Claws unsheathed, fangs bared. The sambar barely has time to react. Terror flickers in its eyes, but it is too late. A crushing blow strikes its shoulder, claws sinking deep. It is yanked to the forest floor. There is no struggle, no prolonged fight. The tiger's jaws clamp down around its throat, a single merciless bite, and within seconds, it is over. The tiger loosens its grip, its breathing steadying after the intense chase. In the world of tigers, even victory does not guarantee safety. A new scent drifts through the air, the scent of another tiger. Its head lifts slightly, ears twitching, muscles tensed in sharp alertness. It does not need to see to know. Another tiger is approaching. From the other side of the jungle, a second striped form emerges through the dappled sunlight. Larger, more powerful, a thick, scarred neck tells of past battles, proof that this newcomer is no stranger to combat. It has not come to steal the kill. It has come to announce its presence. Two apex predators face each other. No movement, no sound. This is no chance encounter. This is a confrontation. A silent war between kings of the jungle. The territorial tiger does not roar in immediate challenge. Instead, it holds its ground, unwavering. Its gaze locks onto the intruder. A low, rumbling growl breaks the stillness, not an act of provocation, but a warning. It has nothing to prove. This is its domain, and the other must understand that. The newcomer remains motionless, its muscles coiled with hesitation. It weighs its choices: submit and leave, or challenge for control. Time stretches, thick with unspoken tension. The wind rustles through the canopy, but no other creature in the jungle dares to make a sound. Then, the intruder takes a slow step back. No growl of defiance, no display of anger. It turns and disappears into the trees. It knows, this is not the time to fight. The territorial tiger remains still, watching until the rival vanishes from sight. Only when the danger has fully passed does it return to its kill. It has defended its land without spilling blood. In the world of tigers, dominance is not always won through battle. It is established through sheer authority. No fiery clash, no bloodied claws. Yet the message is clear. For a Bengal tiger, every day is a war, whether fought in the shadows or under the open sky. Beneath the pale winter sun, the Himalayas rise like an unbreakable fortress. Bitter winds howl across the jagged cliffs, swirling fine snow into the air before scattering it down the desolate slopes. Here, life is a constant battle against the elements. Yet among the frozen heights, one predator has mastered survival: the snow leopard. Unlike the lion, which dominates the plains through numbers, unlike the Bengal tiger, which rules the jungle with silent authority, the snow leopard is an absolute loner. Its greatest weapon is invisibility. With its pale, spotted coat, it vanishes into the frozen terrain. When it moves, it makes no sound, leaves no trace. To most, its presence is nothing more than a fleeting whisper in the wind, the only sign that a snow leopard has passed. A faint paw prints in the snow, and sometimes not even that. The wind erases everything. From a high rock ledge, the snow leopard watches. Its golden eyes scan the world below, sharp and calculating. It knows this terrain. It was born into this unforgiving land. Its long, powerful legs, padded with thick fur, allow it to grip even the slickest ice. Its heavy tail sweeps the snow, keeping perfect balance as it moves across sheer cliffs. These are the traits that make it the undisputed ruler of these heights. Far below, a Himalayan blue sheep treads carefully along the rocky ledge, a master climber, a creature built for these slopes. One misplaced step, and it will plummet into the abyss. But even the most adapted prey cannot escape the laws of survival. One moment of carelessness, one wrong move, and it will be the next victim of the predator waiting above. The snow leopard remains motionless. Only its eyes follow the slightest movement of its prey. It does not rush. It does not strike impulsively. In this terrain, hunting is not just a battle of strength. It is a battle against nature itself. One misstep, one poorly judged leap, and the hunter can fall just as easily as the hunted. But the snow leopard trusts its instincts. It knows when to move, when to wait, when to strike. Its body lowers, muscles tightening in preparation. The wind stills. For a moment, the entire mountain seems to hold its breath. Then it leaps. The jump is almost weightless, effortless, yet filled with raw power. It cuts through the air like a silver arrow. In seconds, the gap between predator and prey disappears. The blue sheep realizes its fate too late. It scrambles to flee, panic in its wide eyes, but there is no escape. The snow leopard strikes with all four paws. Claws sink deep into thick fur, a precise bite to the neck, and everything ends in an instant. A dull thud against the cold stone. Then, silence. A rare victory in a winter that allows few chances. But even with a fresh kill, the snow leopard cannot rest. In the Himalayas, danger does not come only from the cold. It comes from those who hunger just as much as it does. Deeper into the frozen wilderness, a fresh set of tracks appear on the snow. Another snow leopard has been watching from a distance. A lone figure, just like itself. For a fleeting moment, their gazes meet. A silent exchange before their paths slip past each other like shadows in the high mountains. In the world of snow leopards, there are no fixed territories, no prides to defend. They live alone, they hunt alone, and they vanish into the cold winds, leaving nothing behind. But their battle is not just against nature. A greater threat looms over them: humans. The untouched mountains are shrinking. The wild sheep and mountain goats they rely on are being hunted. Their food is vanishing. Today, it is not just the snow and rock that stand in the way of survival. It is human footprints trailing deep into their world. Even in the most remote corners, human presence is shifting the balance of life. The sun dips behind the towering peaks, casting long shadows over the frozen realm. The snow leopard drags its kill into a hidden alcove, beginning its meal in absolute silence. It remains the ruler of the Himalayas, a phantom of the highlands. Amidst the harsh landscapes of Nepal, where lone predators like the Bengal tiger and the snow leopard dominate through sheer power and patience. Not all creatures choose to face the wild head-on. Some carve a different path, a life that does not rely on fangs or speed. High above the forest floor, where sunlight barely reaches through the dense canopy, a small but clever creature moves unseen. The red panda, a master of disguise, a silent dweller of the trees. It does not hunt, it does not fight. Yet it thrives in a world full of danger. It seeks no power like the rulers of the land. It has nothing to prove. Instead, it survives through agility, adaptability, and quiet resilience. Among the towering branches, the red panda moves with practiced ease, keeping its distance from the perilous ground below. On a thick, sturdy limb stretching out over the forest, it carefully makes its way forward. Its dark, round eyes gleam in the golden morning light. It pauses, extends a tiny paw toward a tender bamboo shoot, swaying between the leaves. Its breakfast is simple. Soft bamboo leaves, a humble yet essential source of sustenance. With nimble hands, it snaps a twig, pulls it closer, and chews slowly, grinding the leaves between its strong molars. But despite the peaceful scene, survival is not effortless. A diet rich in fiber but poor in nutrition means the red panda must consume large amounts of food each day just to maintain its energy. Not just bamboo. Given the chance, it will eat insects, bird eggs, or ripe berries bursting with sweetness. Yet unlike the fierce hunters of the wild, the red panda remains primarily a gentle herbivore, a quiet soul in a world ruled by predators. With a full belly, the red panda curls up on a secure branch. Its thick fur shields it from the cold, and its bushy tail wraps snugly around its body for warmth. It spends much of the day sleeping, a necessary strategy to conserve energy in this demanding environment. But even in the heights of the trees, danger is never far. From below, a deep, low sound rumbles through the forest. Something is moving, slow, deliberate. A gust of wind carries a familiar scent, a predator's scent. The snow leopard, a ghost of the mountains, a silent hunter, creeping ever closer to the forest. Its instincts sharpened by the unforgiving wilderness, it can detect even the faintest movement among the branches. And for a careless red panda, one wrong move could mean becoming the hunter's next meal. But the red panda is not so easily caught. It does not panic. It does not bolt in fear. Instead, it pulls itself inward, its watchful eyes scanning the ground below. If the danger grows closer, it knows what to do. It will climb higher. It will find the thinner branches, ones the snow leopard cannot follow. It does not fight. It does not confront. It escapes, a survival tactic that has allowed it to endure in a world dominated by strength. Deep in the jungle, high above the forest floor, the red panda continues its search for food. Meanwhile, below, a different predator moves through the undergrowth. The Bengal tiger. Each step is calculated, each movement deliberate. Its piercing gaze sweeps through the dense foliage, attuned to even the slightest stir. To the tiger, hunting is not just instinct, it is an art. Higher still, on the icy ridges of the Himalayas, the shadows of predators drift through the frigid mist. No fixed territories. No absolute dominion. Only those who endure the brutal hardships of nature will survive. As the sun sets on one horizon, it rises on another, marking the ceaseless rhythm of the wild. Meanwhile, across the distant Serengeti, the sun sinks beyond the grasslands, painting the sky in deep shades of crimson. The savannah fades into night, but life does not stop. The herds move with cautious steps, blending into the darkness. Not far away, a lioness watches. Her body is poised, brimming with energy, ready for the hunt. Thank you for joining Wild Expeditions on this journey through the untamed world. If you enjoyed this adventure, be sure to like, share, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you don't miss our next expedition. Let us know in the comments below. Which rulers of the wild fascinate you the most? Which animal would you like to explore in our upcoming episodes? See you on the next adventure. Because in the world of nature, there is always more to discover.